Welcome, this is Bria Simons.
And I'm Ernie Champagne.
And you are now listening to Tea Talk on Glasshouse Radio, part of the Howard University Radio Network. So a lot has happened this past weekend. The Grammys, that's the real big talker of all social media. So that's kind of like the epitome of what everything, social media, everything that's in the news has been centered around the controversy between Beck and Beyonce. But before I get started, we have a special guest. Special guest, please introduce yourself.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Devin Jones.
Cool. He's a fellow Howard Bison.
How y'all doing?
Okay, so give me your take on the whole Grammys and how it went down.
By me being a Kanye fan, you know, I'm always partial to what he has to say, but I felt like it was completely wrong because I felt like somebody realized that Beck had a good album and he deserved the album of the year. Now, don't get me wrong, I've listened to all the albums who were nominated because I'm just a big music fan, and Beck's album was really good. And you just can't make somebody want to give away their award that they rightfully own.
Right. I don't think Beck should give his album to Beyonce. I understand what Kanye's saying, and I'm glad he didn't, interrupt Beck. He just got on stage and he just sat back down. He didn't really do what he's supposed to do. And Beck was like, come back, because Beck didn't realize what Kanye was about to say. Yeah. He didn't realize
he thought Kanye was just getting on stage.
Yeah, to support him. But Kanye was about to shut it down. And Kanye just let it rock. And I'm like, this is not the VMAs, this is the Grammys. Like, chill out, Kanye.
But
you're entitled to your opinion, but you don't need to get on stage.
But you have to realize this is not something. It happens. It's a recurring situation where lesser artists in other people's eyes are winning over
Grammys.
Like last year, the whole Macklemore winning over Kendrick Lamar's album was a big. It's.
But
it's
he got a Grammy this year though.
He got two.
And they were saying this is the first Grammy in Grammys in 25 years that the rap category was not even televised. Wow. We know he won, but it wasn't on television that he won.
Yeah.
Best rap album, best rap performance,
and
that best rap
televised.
song were not even talked about.
They were
and
not
that's
televised.
Ridiculous. I feel like it should have been talked about, and it kind of goes back to the whole race card thing. Not to make it about race, but it's like he wins 2 Grammys and it's not televised. So it's kind of like, I don't know. There's no winning here. I think
what the thing is that as an artist, I'm not a musical artist, but I feel like some of them reach a point where it's like a Grammy is a Grammy. Your first Grammy, you feel like you achieved something, but then you just realize you're still great without a Grammy. How many people are great that they don't have Grammys?
Right.
So Beyonce has 20 Grammys. You think she cares about
21?
The 21st?
Mm-hmm.
Like
I just feel like
she's chilling.
But in our
she does. I think she did deserve it.
You do care. You do no matter if you feel like you were let's be honest. Beyonce did something that nobody has ever done.
Right.
She dropped the album. So 800,000 copies in 3 days.
That's unheard in a week.
That's unheard of.
Especially in 2014, people don't buy albums.
Right.
That's unheard of. So it should have been heard. But in all honesty, Beck, he had a great album, so you had to give him his props and just let him have it.
And I was reading that Beck has been in the game for a really long time. A really long time.
Early 90s.
Exactly. So this is kind of like the culmination of the peak of his career where he's getting a Grammy. It's no different from Leonardo DiCaprio not getting an Oscar.
Exactly.
So
which is
if you think about it like that, then it makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, I felt like we shouldn't taint his shine because we felt that Beyonce should have won it.
But her fans were going off.
Another controversy about it is Let It See. She didn't sing the song.
Yeah.
Honestly, to be honest, when Beyonce was singing the song, I didn't even know that was the same song from Selma. I did not even know. So people started saying Let It See should have sang it. Meanwhile, Let It See is in the audience.
Right, chilling.
It's not like she was unavailable.
Yeah, Let It See was
Let It See was in the audience.
They showed her on camera.
I know the whole situation with that one. Well, the whole situation was Common and John Legend were performing Glory to end the show.
Right.
And they wanted Take My Hand, Precious Lord, Take My Hand to be sung. And Let It See, her name is not as big as Beyonce's, but her voice is bigger than Beyonce's. Let's be honest.
I agree.
And it's just the whole simple fact that it's all about shine, who's gonna draw in more attention.
Right.
But it came Beyonce's performance. It was good. Don't get me wrong. Beyonce's a great performer.
I think Let It See would have did a better job for the song.
Soul wise, it would have been a great gospel performance.
Exactly.
I think it would have been better if Let It See performed it because I just feel like 1, she sang it in the movie.
Right.
2, I didn't even recognize it was the same song when Beyonce sang it. She was good, but she did not sing it how Let It See would have sang it.
And people were thinking okay, Beyonce. People didn't even know what Beyonce was singing.
Right. I didn't.
So I knew beforehand because it was a whole controversy, and it was just okay, she's gonna sing this song. how is she gonna do it? She gonna do it fighting temptations, Beyonce,
Yeah.
or she gonna do Crazy in Love, Dangerous in Love,
Right.
Beyonce?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Because definitely when I first started hearing the song, I said, this song sounds familiar, but what is she singing? And then she got to the chorus and I'm like, oh, it's Precious Lord. I said, okay.
yeah, Beyonce is an amazing singer in her own right.
She is,
We just felt like Ledisi should have gotten it.
Exactly.
Well, on
So-
the bright side,
right.
Friday night was the NAACP Image Awards,
Mm-hmm.
and How to Get Away with Murder and Blackish won a lot of categories like Best Male Actor in a Drama Series,
Right.
Best Actress in a Comedy Series, Best Comedy Series.
Basically, they did a sweep.
Yeah.
Yes, Blackish and How to Get Away with Murder basically stole the show. You know, the year before it was Scandal.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's How to Get Away with Murder
Right.
and Blackish.
Blackish,
And Anthony Anderson was like so happy because he's like, this is
That was his
after
first.
10 nominations, he was
Right.
like, this is his first Image Award. And he was actually the host, so he was just like, I think he knew he was going to win, but he still wasn't sure because
He
he
was
like, after
hoping he
10
was gonna
times,
He was hoping.
after 10 times, he's like, I don't know. And it's still a fairly new show and everything
Yeah.
like that. But I'm happy to see, like, I love the NAACP Image Awards.
I love the awards
Like,
because
I love it
no
so
matter
much.
how big the
'Cause
star
we're-
were, they were there.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Kerry Washington is one of the biggest stars
She was
out.
there.
Taraji P. Henson, who won Entertainer of the Year
Right.
and Best Actress in a drama movie.
series. Drama movie
Exactly.
for
So-
no good deed.
So it was just like wow, like no matter how big the star is, and let's be honest, Taraji P. Henson is one of the best actresses out right now. She's
Right.
Oscar nominated, and
Right.
she still
Every
was
year.
extremely.
Happy. She was shocked she won. She started crying because she didn't even think she was
She
gonna
thought
win.
Beyonce was gonna win.
She didn't even think she was going to win. And it's just amazing to see like us properly represented.
Right.
Because it's like we go like you said, like the Grammys or any other award show, it's just be like one category, like the rap category.
Exactly.
Even the R&B category is kinda
And
it's like you don't really see like people that are supposed to be in the R&B category in the R&B
it's
category.
like a classier version of the BET Awards.
Exactly.
Right.
But I want to kind of bring up something that just popped in my head. So, what do you guys think about Empire and Blackish overlapping in a
I
time
hate
slot?
that. I feel like I don't
Because
get to
Empire
watch
and Blackish
Blackish.
come on at the same time.
I don't even get to watch Blackish.
With me, I haven't really watched Blackish because I just time wise, and I never catch Empire on the day Empire comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So with me, I always watch it online, like the next day or
Right.
the day after. So pretty much to me, it doesn't really make a difference. But I can see where it like has conflicts. Like
Yeah.
these are two prominent
Right.
black run shows, and
At the
it's just
same
like
time.
At the same time.
But if you watch it on Hulu or ABC, you like they still get the viewership.
Yeah.
But it's like most people, they don't go through that. They might go through a separate website to see that, and it's just like I haven't been able to watch Blackish in the past like month.
Exactly.
I'll be honest.
because Empire is like
Empire's
coming in now,
dominating.
like,
It is dominating the
It's
game.
dominating.
and it's one of those shows that they didn't think was gonna last because in that first show it was like, oh, the ratings weren't
Yeah.
that good.
Right.
But then after that first show ended and they found all the stuff that was going on, it was just like, yeah, it's gonna be a good show.
But speaking of Kerry Washington, she was on the cover of InStyle magazine, and her complexion looked lighter than we're used to seeing her, and
They're
her
trying
face
to-
also looked.
Her face looked altered. It looked
it looked
really chiseled.
Really chiseled, and Kerry Washington has big cheeks. So, was this done on purpose? Did they said it was the lighting, but every photo is photoshopped to some degree in a magazine.
That was overly done. That was more than Photoshop. That was a whole different person.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I didn't
who that-
recognize her.
I didn't know who that was.
I didn't know who it was.
She was really like mulatto type. Like it wasn't even her.
I think that InStyle is saying that it was the lighting, but I don't think it was the lighting. The lighting would not make her look that light. And like the way it was, the lighting looked like it was coming from behind her. So if it was coming from behind her,
There's a
it
shadow
wouldn't.
casting.
Yeah, it wouldn't make her lighter. It would actually make her darker. And then her face, that could be makeup. It could be makeup.
Yeah, but makeup
when
doesn't make
at
you look
first
that
glance, I wouldn't think that's Kerry Washington at first glance at all. And it's like, what is InStyle trying to say? Like,
The
what?
lighter,
The
the
lighter,
berry,
the better.
the lighter the berry, the better the product. That's what I'm trying to say.
like what they trying to say? Like, oh, Kerry Washington could be on the cover, but she has to like this in order to be on the
Right.
cover.
And honestly, everybody knows who Kerry Washington is. Everybody knows what she looks like. She's chocolate. She's a chocolate woman. So for her to look kind of like a tan color,
Yeah,
a color that we don't, she's glowing.
She looked like she was like peach like color.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. She blended to the background of the
I
magazine.
did not recognize her. But another thing that happened this weekend was Adrian Bailon finally got engaged. because on The Real, her fellow cast co-hosts would tease her about it. She would just be like, "Oh, I'm not ready to get married. I don't want to rush into anything. You know, I'm just doing me. We're together, but you know, it is like, you know, she just kind of accepted it."
She has been with him for like 6 years.
6 years,
6 years.
So wait, let me do my math. It's 05. Okay.
It's 2015.
It's about 2009.
Yeah, this is
That's a long
she got with him
time.
about a year.
And he has
about a
3
year after she
kids.
got out of a relationship with Rob Kardashian.
Yeah.
Well, she said that she's always been in a relationship like back to back to back to back to back.
She's a relationship type person.
Yeah, and I feel like I like that she's relationship oriented. She knows what she wants in life, so it's a good look for her.
Do you think like there's like a bad connotation, not a bad connotation, but like if a woman is staying in a relationship for like more like 6 like something years,
some people
like when is it enough? I feel like I think she was at that point, but she didn't want everybody to know, because I watched the show when she revealed that she was engaged, and they called her fiance Lenny Santiago. And he was just imitating her, like, "You better listen to Tamar, you better listen to Lonnie, they telling you something." But on TV, she'd be like, "Guys, stop, stop, stop." So I feel like she was at that point, like, telling him, like, "Listen, it's 6 years, I'm 31, you're older, you have kids, I want my own kids, when are we going to get married?"
Most women, I'm not going to speak for all women, but most women, like, want a family, want to get married, because that's like a dream. Like, it's kind of like imprinted in, like, young girls from a young age, to get married, have that dream wedding. And I feel like he shouldn't deprive her of that. So I feel like he knew it was the right time. And I feel like the longer the engagement, the longer you know you're willing to stay with somebody. Because if you're engaged with somebody, or with somebody for 6 years, you know everything about that person.
Yeah, just like the complacency. Like, you don't want to be in a relationship for like 6, 7 years and you start doing wife things and husband things without the time or the ring.
Together.
And so I think that's where a lot of like the kind of like friction comes from, because when somebody is in a relationship for that long, you know the quirks of that person, you know what makes that person tick, and it's like, I know all these things about you, but at the end of the day, like, when am I going to get my ring? When are you going to solidify this? When are you going to prove to the world that, you know, you're honoring this commitment, whether he's faithful or not? So I don't know if that's a male thing or a female thing. I don't know if it's like women are more prone or want commitment more so than men, or if like a man is willing to stick it out that far in a relationship.
I feel like with the whole man, I'm not going to speak for all men because I don't know all men.
Right.
I'm just saying it comes from, it's what you know and what you see. A lot of men aren't brought up in a double parent household, so they don't really see like women getting the love from another, like from a male figure. So they're scared. They don't know they haven't been taught exactly what to do in a situation like that. So they're pretty much learning by themselves. So I feel like, you know, most men, they take their time with getting into relationships or like wanting to be with somebody because they don't know how to do it.
Okay, so basically, just to recap what we've been talking about, Sam Smith stole the show. He won about 4 Grammys, and that's amazing because this is his year. There's a whole bunch of controversy between Beck and Beyonce over Album of the Year, and what Kanye did, what Kanye said, was he stepping on toes. And then many African American actresses were honored Friday night at the NAACP Image Awards, which, as Devin put it, was the classy BET Awards. And Kerry Washington's cover sparks conversation in regards to Photoshop, and The Real's host, Adrienne Bailon, is now engaged.
So stay tuned for much more. I'm Erin Champagne.
And I'm Bria Simons.
I'm Devin Jones.
And you're now listening to Tea Talk on Glasshouse Radio, part of Howard University Radio Network. Stay tuned.